Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. In this video we're going to be looking at how we can use Simulink in order to solve differential equations for spring mass systems. We're going to be using example 3 from week 12, and in this example I sort of almost solved the equation. So I got to this stage where I do have the equations. What I need to do before I go on to use Simulink is rearrange these equations. So you need to solve this by hand, by the way, especially for your coursework. And what you need to do after you get to this stage is basically rearrange in terms of x1 double prime and x2 double prime, and then you can use Simulink. So for the first equation, rearranged it. And it looks like this now. So m1 x1 double prime is on the left hand side. On the right hand side is all the other terms. And then for the second equation I did the same, x2 double prime and everything else on the right hand side. So now you're ready to use Simulink. Let's minimize this one and let's open Simulink. Here we go. So what do we need? We need a few blocks. So what you need to do, usually it's this blank screen that you always see. You need to click on Library Browser and then go on to, let's get one integrator. And let's click and drag inside. And then let's get one sum, S-U-M. And let's click and drag inside. And then one gain, and let's add this as well. This is all the functions that we need, all the blocks that we need. So now let's start with an integrator. So let's put these aside for now. Let's click here and then press and hold Control, and that will basically copy or make another copy of this integrator for you. So you can do it the usual way, which is Control-C, Control-V, or you can just hold Control and then click and drag, and that will create another copy for you. So that's one way. As you can see, I tried the other way, which is by clicking here, and you can search for a block, so integrator, but let's just use this way for now. So what I want to do, I got this integrator. Let's add a couple of arrows like so. So this arrow, we're saying that x1 double prime, if we integrate this one, that will create for us x1 prime. So what happens when we integrate this one? We get x1. And so I'm going to do that. So click and drag, and that will create for me x1. Okay, next we want to add these, and these variables in here, you can add them through the gain. So let's Control and click downwards down here, and we'll call this B1. So what you do is you double click, change the name to B1, and I was already trying to solve this earlier, so that's why it's given me this value. But let's say this is the first time. What you do is usually when you type in B1 and then click on the 3, it will ask you to create this B1. So let's try B capital 1. Oops, sorry. So again, B capital. Right click, create, and it will ask you for the value. From the example, I think B1 was 0.1. So we're just going to put 0.1 in here. Create, click apply and OK, or you don't need to click apply, just click OK. And once you go back inside, you notice that it changed the value to B1. So what I want to do is I want to link this to that and then bring it back inside of this one, inside of the loop. So what you can do if you want to flip this, press Ctrl I. That will flip the gain for you, and then this will be connected to that, and the output of this is basically B1 x1 prime. Let's leave it like this for now. Let's not connect yet. Let's move on to the next step, which is the second term, which is k1 times x1. So what we need is another gain. So copy this one onto here. Link this one onto the arrow, like so. Leave the output, that's fine. Just change this into K1. K1, according to the question, the value of it is 1. So again, if you haven't created this, just click here, type K1, click here, and then click create, and it will ask you for the value. I've already done that in a previous trial, so I don't need to do it again. But for you, you will have to do this step. So after that, you click OK, and just leave this for now. So I think this is all we can do for now. Let's copy this one downwards. So this will be the second equation. Notice that I left this one because I still need the x2, and because I don't have the x2 yet, I need to create it first. So we'll start same process. This will become x2 double prime, this will become x2 prime, and this will become x2. Now, in terms of what the gains are, so the first one is B2. So let's create B2, and then click create and change its value to let's see how much was B2, 0.2. Create and then click OK. And so the output of this is basically B2 times x2 prime. Do the same for the K2. Sorry, K3. So change this into K3. Make sure you click here to create. I've already created K3, and then click OK. Now we can create the third term, because we have x2 now. So what we need is a sum function. So let's click and drag one of these in here. Let's also flip them, flip the sum. Now I want to connect x2, the positive, down here, and also x1 will be negative, so I need to change the second sign into minus, and then connect it to this one, like so. And then I need the gain, a new gain, which is K2. And the value for K2 is 1, so just connect it like so. The output of this sum is basically x2 minus x1. The output of this will be K2 into x 2 minus x1. Okay, so now we have all three terms, so b1 x1 prime, k1 x1, k2 times x2 minus x1, and they are in here. Just this one left. Let's do it this way. And that will be x1, k1. Not prime. Okay, so we need to add them together. That means we need a sum junction. We can copy this one, and what we can do is basically change the signs to correspond to these terms. So minus, minus, plus. Minus, minus, plus. So minus b1 x1, just connect this one to the minus. Minus k1 x1, connect this one to the minus. And then k2, that will be connected to the plus, like so. And this will be connected back into that. There we go. Right. So that's done. We have to do the same down here as well. We don't need this one anymore. So what's the output of this one? That will be k3 x2. The output of this one will be b2 x2 prime. And the third term is basically this one, which is k2 into x2 minus x1. We need a sum junction, a new one. And we need to change the signs. They're all minus this time. Click OK. We'll start with the first term, so this one goes on top. Next is this one. And then finally, just try your best to connect this one to that, like so. So that's k2 x1, yep. And then lastly, just bring this one down here. And that's it. That's all you need to do. So if you want to view inputs and outputs, what you can do is basically create a scope. So go on here. And create one scope in here and another one down here, and just link this to that, link this to that, run the model, and you can view your outputs. Must have done something wrong. Anyways, so what you should be getting is something like damping basically in your outputs. I've probably done something wrong, but that's the idea behind it. Okay.